Welcome back to Banging the Can, the Houston sports show that does not apologize for championship rings and tings, with new episodes dropping every Monday and Friday, presented by Bolen Media. I am Ross Bolen, and Yordan Alvarez is fucking back. Ding dong, Framber is fucking back. 7 innings of shutout baseball for that ass. Christian Walker loves to hit double ding dongs. Let's talk about the Astros. Let's have some fun today. Come on, everyone. Bring the energy. The more Christian Walker rakes, the more I'm like, holy hell. We might actually have something extremely special here, especially when Isaac Paredes comes back healthy eventually. Look at this batting lineup. Jeremy Pena, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, Christian Walker, Isaac Paredes, Mauricio Dubon, Jesus Sanchez, Diaz/Caratini. See what I'm saying? I don't even know how to stack that lineup if all those guys are healthy. Quickly, if you're watching on youtube.com/@bangingthecan, crush that subscribe button, throw us a like on this video, and when a comment occurs to you over the course of today's show, throw it in the comment section below. Thank you for your service, can bangers. All of the things I just mentioned help us grow the show. Say these names with me now. Yordan Alvarez, Isaac Paredes, Christian Walker, Jeremy Pena, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve. Do you see what I'm getting excited about? Do you get it? That is an absolutely absurd amount of offensive talent. And 4 of those dudes I just named have gold gloves. All I'm saying is that if Yordan is back and healthy and pounding baseballs, and Christian Walker has found his groove again and is pounding baseballs, and Jeremy Pena keeps playing the way he has all season, and Carlos Correa maintains the groove he regained when he returned to H-Town, and Jose Altuve can keep from getting thrown out on the base paths, and Isaac Paredes can come back healthy and get back to where he was before the hammy injury, baby, we've got a stew going. Like, that is an extremely deep and dangerous offensive team that we should all be extremely excited about. Okay? Let's rewind a bit, though. Let's calm down, shall we? On Tuesday, the Astros managed to lose the series opener to the worst team in baseball, the Colorado Rockies, with Hunter Brown on the mound, no less. 6-1 loss, and all of us were like, holy shit, here we go. Oh no, we suck again. Absolutely bizarre game, though. Hunter Brown only gave up 2 earned runs and went 20 outs of really solid pitching, but a Jeremy Pena double error in the 3rd inning that should have been a double play kind of screwed Hunter Brown, and if we had scored more runs, I would say it screwed the whole game, but we didn't. First loss to the Colorado Rockies since 2018. Shit had me rattled. I know it had a lot of y'all rattled too. That did not feel good. Fortunately, Framber Valdez came out for Game 2 on Wednesday and was back to being incredibly effective. Just 3 hits, all singles across 7 innings of work with 5 strikeouts, and Framber fans are like, oh, see, you shouldn't have talked shit about Framber. No, stop it. Stop it. No. This was the worst team in baseball that Framber dominated, as he is supposed to do. He does not get special credit for this, and it doesn't change the fact that he was a dramatic ass for almost all of August. I hope Framber crushes it moving forward. I hope we win the division and Framber dominates in the postseason. I hope he gets a crazy bag in the offseason. I love Framber. So let's not argue about this, okay? We both know what's what. You know, Framber stands. You know. But great outing here from Framber Valdez. Yordan hit his first ding-dong since returning from the IL, deep center. So sexy. So fucking hot. Cam Smith also homered, and God knows we need to see his bat do some shit. Good fun. Good Game 2 win. Oh, and Jesus Sanchez hit a ding-dong in Game 1, also had the first RBI of Game 2. If this dude, Jesus, can hit consistently, it's fucking over for the haters and doubters. Plan the parade, it's over. It's over if that dude can produce consistently offensively. Game 3 on Thursday was more of a nail-biter than it needed to be. Jason Alexander was still very solid. 17 outs, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. A lot of strikeouts. 7 hits. A couple solo homers really took the wind out of his sails, but I'm going to make a ruling here. and say the summer of George continued. Altuve and Seawalk both homered in the opening frame, and it felt like this might be a blowout, but somehow we needed another Seawalk ding-dong in the bottom of the 8th to win this thing 4-3. Christian Walker, until teams are at least throwing strikes to Yordan Alvarez, because he's getting walked a lot in these first 2 games we've seen him since his return. Christian Walker might be the best power hitter on this team. Like, he has found his swing again. He's very dangerous at the plate. And he's easily one of 3 guys you want to see up to bat as an Astros fan with runners in scoring position. So, Christian Walker, big win. 4-3 win. Bullpen was very solid. De Los Santos, Okert, Ort, King, and Abreu all did work, giving up only 1 hit and no runs across 3 1/3 innings. That's what you want to see. So the Astros win 2 of 3 against the Rockies for a record of 74 wins and 60 losses to put them up 2 games in the AL West over the Mariners. Now, I'm going to throw some random notes at you, okay? Some random stuff. If you're one of the goofballs who complained because Yordan Alvarez got Thursday's game off as a rest day in an effort to safely ramp him back up, you are a silly little goose and need to shut your silly little mouth before I slap it good. Cesar Salazar was called up to catch on Wednesday and Thursday because Victor Caratini took multiple balls to the face, and entered concussion protocol, and Yanir Diaz took a foul ball off the wrist, so he's dealing with some soreness. Cesar Salazar was impressive. I was impressed. And we all know Yanir Diaz isn't the best defensive catcher in baseball, okay? We all know that. But he's serviceable. He's just a more effective offensive weapon than he is a defensive catcher. Victor Caratini, also more of an offensive weapon. So maybe it's just a matter of weak competition, but Cesar Salazar looked very, very sharp defensively in 2 games. Also, he had 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk in Thursday's game. So I'm not saying we have like a catcher's controversy or anything absurd like that, but Salazar deserves some recognition here. I am not one of you Yanir Diaz haters. You disgust me, and I want to be very clear about that. But shout out to Salazar. Great couple of games from him there. Speaking of haters, I am done complaining about Jeff Bagwell in the broadcast booth. He was in there for this Rockies series. If you watched, you noticed. You can't not notice. I have hated on Bagwell, the broadcaster, in the past. And I am done hating. Does he sound like he's a few drinks deep? Yes. But this man is not a classically trained media professional like me. He didn't go to journalism school at Texas State University, the Harvard of Texas, like me. But he's a Hall of Famer. Arguably the greatest offensive player in the history of the franchise, and he knows ball. He has fantastic insights during the game. You just have to turn up the volume and keep your ears peeled to hear them because he's mumbling and he's 3 sheets to the wind. But I am done complaining about Bagwell. I love this man. I love the experience that he had as a player that he's obviously able to translate to analyzing the game in the broadcast booth. He gives us something that we typically don't have in there. Do I want Bagwell in the booth every game? Absolutely not. No, thank you. But in short stretches, when one of these guys needs a vacation or a break or whatever, or gets sick or whatever, what have you, I welcome Jeff Bagwell to the broadcast booth. I enjoy what he brings to the booth. I don't think it's a situation where you can tell him like, yo, Jeff, would you mind speaking up a little and sounding a little more energetic and trying to enunciate your words more clearly and maybe have a couple less booze drinks before the game starts? Because then I think you lose like who he is. You just want you want Bags to be himself in the booth, okay? Just like you wanted Bags to be himself in the batter's box. So if you're one of these Bagwell haters, if you're like, who hates on Bagwell? I didn't know. You're not on Twitter. Astros Twitter jumps Bagwell's ass every time he's in the booth. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, I appreciate what he brings to the table. Like I said, I don't want this every series, but like on occasion, it's cool to see Bagwell come in and give some inarguably expert analysis about a team that he very clearly pays a ton of attention to. It's not like we're rolling in some Hall of Famer who doesn't really watch the Astros play that much anymore, and you can tell by the things he says that he's not that plugged in with the team. This guy's watching, it seems like, every game. He's hyper aware of what's going on, especially with plate approach for every single hitter. Like he's very, very good at breaking down at bats, at telling you what guys did right or wrong at the plate. And I really like that. I like that level of commentary that Bagwell brings to the booth. So I'm done hating on Bagwell. The point of this little segment here is to try to convince some of you on Astros Twitter that live in negative town to also stop hating on Bagwell. Let's just let our legend do his thing. The negativity, it's unnecessary. So what's next? The Astros start a 4-game home series against the last place Los Angeles Angels tonight to close out August and start September. Christian Javier, Game 1. Spencer Arrighetti, Game 2. Hunter Brown, Game 3. Goes without saying. Got to win this series. Got to take at least 3 of these 4. Okay? Got to have it. Don't want to start sweaty September, #trademark copyright, off on the wrong foot. Got to take care of business against lesser teams like we just did with the Rockies. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. We're in the meaty part of the schedule right now with easy wins to be taken if we are willing to take them. Meanwhile, the Mariners have a 3-game road series against the Guardians to finish out the month, so obviously we are at the point of the season where we have to pay attention to the Mariners a little more closely and what they're doing. You know, they're even bringing up Mariners scores during the broadcast, during Astros games at this point, because it matters. It's a close division race. The Mariners haven't won the division in like 15 years or something. Let's not change that here, okay? Keep your foot on their throat. Do what you have to do. Get the division win. But that's who the Mariners are up against. The Guardians, not that great of a team, but not as bad as the Angels, who we are playing. Again, I must emphasize how important it is to win this Angels series. Also, college football this weekend. No NFL, though. So not this Sunday, but the next, the Houston Texans open up their season on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. So freaking pumped for the return of Texans football. Can't wait to see what year 3 of this new era in Houston Texans football holds. And we will be covering the Astros and Texans simultaneously right here on Banging the Can once the NFL season gets rolling. As I mentioned last week, not a preseason football guy, don't particularly care. But I am excited to talk about the Texans once the NFL gets going. That will do it for today's show. Remember, we have new episodes dropping every Monday and Friday on youtube.com/@bangingthecan. Next week, however, Monday is Labor Day, so we are dropping on Tuesday, okay? I would also note, if you are a Spotify listener, you now have the ability to watch our episodes on Spotify the same way you would on YouTube. So there are 2 options now for viewing Banging the Can. One is on YouTube, where you should subscribe, like, turn on notifications so that you know every time a new episode drops, comment in the comment section for this episode, and on Spotify, where if you are subscribed already, then give us a 5-star rating. That's what it's a rating system on Spotify. And there's no reviewing, but there's rating. Give us 5 stars. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts and you don't feel like watching on Spotify or YouTube, whatever, it's your decision. But we do have cool visual assets for our show. Producer Kade does a great job giving you a rundown on the side of the screen, giving you images when I'm talking about different players and series and such. So just know you do have the option to watch Apple Podcasters, if you would like to, on youtube.com/@bangingthecan, or on Spotify, where we now offer full video in addition to the audio. If you're on Apple Podcasts and you don't want to go the visual route, like I said, cool with me, but please still go ahead and rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts. That helps us a lot to continue to grow. And on that note, please share the most unapologetic Houston sports show in existence with your friends and family. Word of mouth is the most powerful way to grow a show like ours. If you enjoy this show and you want to see it continue, if you like what I'm bringing to the table as a fan that is also trying to do some informative entertainment here in the form of Banging the Can, then please tell your friends and family who also love the Astros, the Texans, and the Rockets, as those are the 3 Houston sports teams that I have time to focus on. Follow us on social media at Banging the Can on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Threads at Banging the Can. I am Ross Bolen. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WRBolen. I'll be back Tuesday next week to discuss the results of the Astros 4-game series against the Angels. Enjoy your weekend. Until next time, H-Town, stay down.